Good evening, every pony and every creature, and welcome to DAG. As always, this is Dratta Arcana at Dratta Talks, and joining me tonight is very special guest...
Tootsie4Ever. Hello!
Hello! So you're the guy behind the Brony problems.
Yes, my most failed creations. I'm messing.
Failed? Have you seen the number of views on those videos?
I like to secretly think it's a family member just watching them, and no one actually watching those videos.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. But you know, here's something that's interesting. You have around 15,000 subscribers, which is very impressive for the Brony community. And you've been doing YouTube as a Brony for 7 years. So you must have a lot of experience in that field.
I don't know, sort of. I mean, I like to say I have a lot of experience, but I don't think I really know anything about it, and I'm just getting lucky. Only reason I say that is because I started making videos back in, like, way before the Brony and My Little Pony was even a thing. So I started making videos back in 2007 over RuneScape videos, and that, I don't know, they didn't really take off until, like, when I started actually making pony videos.
Yeah, I looked back at your YouTube channel, and your first actual upload that people can find is a video called Tootsie Quest.
Oh, God. That one.
Well, that's maybe where you got started.
That video, I try to ignore that video only because it was just so bad. I didn't even have an actual camera at the time. I was just holding my laptop camera in front of me the entire time. It was just so dumb.
Yeah, I can see that. And as over time, you know, as you got better equipment and stuff, your videos have become something that a lot of us have come to appreciate. And, you know, there are a lot of, you know, people in the fandom and stuff that I'm sure, you know, are interested to see all the fandom stuff that you talk about. Like the one where you flew out to meet that girl and talk about a disaster.
Yes, that horrible, probably $3,000 date that never happened.
Isn't that all
yes. That date was pretty bad.
Well, and over time, I'm sure that you've developed some interesting practices, and kind of talk about your process into making your videos. Like, what practices do you use? I know you use a script. I know that that you work out your scripts, and your current scripts are getting better and better, but they're also taking longer to write. What's kind of your methodology behind that?
Oh, like for starting the video or like getting the idea from?
Yeah, getting the idea, starting the video.
It usually, most of the time, the better videos are when I have like with the Brony problems, they're probably way better when it comes to a topic that I had personal experiences with. Like, for an example, gosh, I can't even think of a good example. I want to say the Brony dating websites, like that. I never had an account on any of those websites. In fact, that one was actually just a fan suggestion, and I always find it more interesting and more of a challenge to do something that I don't really know much about. For an example, I never even knew there were Brony dating websites until I was doing a video called 20 Reasons We Love and Hate the Brony Fandom. And one person, I think, commented, pointed out, oh, you should go over the Brony dating website. So like, what the heck are those? And so I looked into them, and I was like, wow, these are actually a thing, because I thought it was a joke. And so, like, the past, like, I don't know, I spent like a few days on those websites just seeing what they were about. And oh my gosh, those were definitely a rabbit hole that I didn't think I would find. Kind of like the pony hypnosis video. That one was a really interesting comic to do because I didn't know much about it other than it was about people who were trying to become ponies. And it was fascinating because I always like that type of odd stuff in the fandom. And it's always just been interesting. The Brony problems, it's like I have no idea what I'm going to get into when I do a video over them.
Yeah, and seeing how the different things that the Brony fandom contributes and does, there's a lot of different types of fans out there from, especially in content creators and stuff. We got artists, we got glass makers. You can buy a shot glass of whatever pony you want. You got plushie makers, you got YouTubers and stuff. And I've always found it interesting that we have so many content creators.
Yeah, I'm glad we actually have so many. Some of them are like really, really cool.
That's true. Yeah. And you're one of the cool ones, just so you know.
Oh, I appreciate that. I don't really consider myself like no different than anyone else, only because the main focus for my videos is that when 2012, when I first started making pony videos, and like from like 2013 to 2014-ish, a lot of pony videos, I don't know, they felt like all the same to me, especially when it came to the analysis community, because that was really when, I don't know, probably 2013 to 2015 was when the analysis community started to boom. And I always got annoyed with their annoying format where it was just like their pony in the top, or the pony in the bottom right-hand corner with like no images. Like, I don't know, it felt way too simple for me. I want to do something a little different than that. So I try to incorporate live action stuff into my videos. So I don't know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing, because I know the risk of when it comes to making live action videos for Leafy is here, for an example.
Well, I've done live action videos myself, and I've done, just my regular OC, title slides and stuff. And, talk about like what are the disadvantages and advantages to doing it live action though?
For me, it's probably just for the fact that people know my personality better, like know how I am on camera, for how happy and excited I am for what I am actually talking about in my videos. Because I just posted a video actually today recently going over rare pony merchandise, and that video took way too long to make just because some of the live action parts were just annoying. Just because it takes a while to actually memorize lines. Like, that's probably the disadvantage, is having to memorize lines. But I'm actually so used to it now that I can actually memorize an entire script probably within maybe like an hour if I'm with it. I'm more better if I actually write the scripts myself than actually someone hands me a random script and I'm like, oh god, I don't know this.
So what's kind of your what would be your tip for those trying to go with a scripted format? Like, what practices should people do before recording a script?
It would probably be, don't force yourself, because I try not to set deadlines for any of my videos, because I know I'm probably never going to make those deadlines, because I'm also balancing a job. Like, I'm also balancing like a 12-hour shift, job and videos and with family. And if I just sit down and it's like, okay, I'm going to work on this script, it's not going to happen, because none of the ideas or inspiration are going to come to me. It always just hits me in the most random places. Like, I could be asleep and then all of a sudden I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. and I was just like, oh my god, I can't go back to sleep. Then I'll just think of then I'll have like an idea for a video. Or like my last video, I only got that video because I was stuck in pod control at my work, and I got an idea. I was like, hey, I want to do a video going over rare pony items, so I'm just gonna write down the script real quick on like a piece of notebook paper and then try to do that. And then like over time, or no, really over time, but more over the course of a few days, the whole script starts coming together. So the best thing I can give to anyone, if they want to go down that route, is to just not force it, because it'll come naturally.
Some of our best stories come from our dreams, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Do you think Princess Luna has some influence there?
Probably. I could see it.
I could totally see it. So when you actually get the video complete, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, when you get the video complete, when uploading to YouTube, what are some things that you should always keep in mind when uploading a video, whether it be tags, description? Are there certain practices that you utilize for that?
Oh my gosh. For me, I've always just, for a while now, I've just been writing out the title of the video that's been on the script, and then just throwing it in the title, and then writing down a brief description of what the video is. The one thing I'm trying to stay away from is just blatant clickbaity title, because those annoy me so much, because I do not care what happens at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That'll blow my mind, because all I know, it's not going to be anything important. So I'm just like, I don't really know what I could really say, other than the fact is like, don't bait your audience. That's just annoying. No one likes that.
I kind of use a similar titling system that you do, where I actually name my titles and after the subject of the podcast. So that's how I do it, and it's good to hear that you do the same thing, because I think more people should do that.
Yeah, I always try. Okay, the last thing that is ever done in my videos is the name of the video, because I have no idea what to name it. Like, it took me like almost, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to come up with the last video I just posted, like the name of it, because I couldn't figure out a good title for it.
Sometimes the hardest thing is the title. Sometimes we just need a good working title, and then the title only becomes apparent after you finish the book.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, and so when you do upload and after you have the title and stuff, do you use tags at all?
I do. I just try to. I have my script written down, and I try to, or when my script at the end of this, when the script is done, I always write down like keywords that are going to play a big part of it, and then I just throw those in the tag. Like, for an example, that last video I just posted, I put exclusive Toys R Us merchandise, official, Joel Inside, which was the famous singer featured in that video, and just obscure, like just basic title tags that actually fit the style of the video.
Okay. Now, do you find that your tags have any impact on the number of views or increase in subscribers at all?
Honestly, I'm not really sure, because I don't really pay attention to the view or the number of subscribers anymore. I usually just make the video and I'm just like, well, that was fun. Oh, well. And then I'll check it in like 2 weeks and it's like, oh, that video's a massive flop. Oh, well. Or it's like, oh, that video was decent. Okay, cool. Like, I'm always just been the type of person that just kind of goes with the flow. It's like, yeah, okay, I think I can do this.
There you go. I like those types of YouTubers, because usually their content is a lot better. Those of us that do it for the passion of just making a video versus someone out there doing it as a career. So
yeah, I could never make a living off YouTube, only because it's too stressful. I know some YouTubers who are making a career out of YouTube, and they are like stressing out, and I feel super bad for them. And I would never want a career like that, just because of how unstable income would be. So I'd much rather just have like a normal, decent full-time job that actually has a consistent flow of money, rather than, oh crap, I got exposed, now my income's going to be screwed. Something like that.
Right. Yeah, and I find that that's a lot of YouTubers, is a lot of us do have other jobs, and YouTube is just a hobby for us.
Yeah, it is. Just I've always been treating it just as something to do on the side, because I was always bored. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video. I'm bored. I don't know. I'm gonna look up something in the pony community and see if there's anything interesting that I can do there.
Now, what got you into the Brony fandom in the first place?
Oh, what made me want to start making pony videos or something?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that story is just... Okay, I first found out about Bronies somewhere between back in 2011-ish, somewhere about the beginning of 2011. It was about a few months after the show was released, because I remember seeing promos for it on TV. And it was back on April 1st. I saw like a April Fool's video, and these guys just did an abridged version of the very first episode of My Little Pony. And I thought, what the hell was this? This is so dumb. And I never really thought much about it. And then about a year later in 2012, I was getting annoyed at the community that I was currently in, which was the RuneScape community, because that year was just garbage for the game. And I wanted to go to a different community that was actually more accepting and fun. And I'm trying to remember. I think when I finally sat down and watched the show and gave it a chance, I started falling in love with it. And then when I found out the Brony community, I was like, I really like this community. I want to stay in this community and make some videos about it and like try to contribute something to the fandom.
That's a very admirable goal. I feel like that a lot of us want to contribute to the fandom, in the fandom that has given so much to us. And I really appreciate getting the chance to meet you and stuff. But what's kind of the when you're in a fandom like this, there's so many content creators. How do you all communicate? How do you all work on videos together? I know that you've done some stuff with Little Shy FIM and Minty Root. How do you communicate to each other?
How we mainly communicate is like, it's kind of funny. It's like I've always seen like the popular bronies as just like everyone else. I never really seen them as this like big grand people. I've seen people freak out and pretty much try to stalk them to get their attention. But for me, I've always just treated them like, well, they're just human beings like everyone else. But I don't know. I've always been friends with people and they've somehow introduced me to them. Like I've talked with Minty Root a few times because I remember I was doing a Brony Problems over fan animations and I didn't know anything about animation, and one of my friends was like, hey, you should contact Minty Root. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think Minty Root would like me because he's more of he's like always busy with animation in school. And then I got his Discord contact actually at BronyCon from a friend, sent him a message like, hey, you want to help out in this video? And he's like, hey, sure, that'd be cool. And then with Little Shy, that just happened. He was actually one of probably the first bronies I've ever met when I first joined the Brony fandom. And this is at a time when he only had like 2K subscribers, so no one really knew who he was at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, that was mainly about it. I don't really have I don't really try to just meet these people. I don't know, if they come up, I'll say hi to them, but I don't really try to engage in any like hardcore friend thing. I don't know if that makes any sense.
That makes sense in some degree. I'm sure it makes sense to you.
They're awesome. It's like I've just never really been the type of person that just stalked them or tried to get their information at all. It just came naturally.
Yeah, I try to be as natural as I can, and it's just a matter of, I've always had the opinion for my podcast that you reach out and you say, hey, would you like to join me on my podcast? And if they say no, they say no. It's I've always been a fan of being easygoing and friendly to people.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's always the best way to have the mindset. I've seen people who have a mindset where it's just like, no, you have to at least have 20K subscribers to talk to me. And I hate those people so much.
That's something that maybe you can touch on a little bit. Why do we have some YouTubers that are like that, where you have to have X number of subscribers to even be considered?
I think it's just because the fact that they think because they got featured on Equestria Daily one time, they're going to be the next big thing, which, to be fair, I love this community, but I will admit there are some people in it that are just very, very toxic. And I mean that in a good way.
I joined this fandom back in August of 2017, so I'm really late to the show. Kind of sad.
It's all right.
I'm gonna cry.
It's all right. You're not late to the. You're not late to the show. You're early for G5.
Hey, That's a good way to look at it. And I plan on continuing on 2G5, covering more about the fandom and stuff. And that's kind of why I kind of started this podcast, to approach things about the fandom that, you know, would help the fandom learn more about either YouTube, plushies, art community, you know, to learn about the different communities.
Mm-hmm.
So any wise tips that you would suggest for anyone wanting to start as a Brony YouTuber?
I would say just take it slow. Do something like simple, like do something that has your own twist on it. My twist was, instead of using like my own Pony OC, I just used live action stuff because I wanted to make my videos. I wanted my videos to focus more on the educational and to the point where people outside of the Brony fandom can watch my videos. So that's why I kind of go into a style where it's like I'm kind of like an outsider, but I'm also full in on the Brony fandom, so I know just about a little everything about it, kind of. But I would just find your own little shtick that you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and you know, it helps to have something that you're comfortable with, something that you're passionate about, because if you're not passionate about it, you're not gonna want to continue doing it, right?
Exactly.
So, BronyCon ended. Sad, very, very sad about that. And we got the chance to meet, I think, briefly. So, what's your plans for your channel after the show ends?
After the show ends, I actually did make a statement about this, I think about a few weeks ago, which was I do not plan on leaving the Brony community. I don't plan on changing my channel or moving on to anything different, as I still love My Little Pony. As my channel is never really focused on the show itself, but more of the community aspects and kind of other things revolving the show, like merchandise and behind the scenes. So when the show ends, I'm still going to continue to make pony videos. Like probably in a week or two, I'm going to be working on a script going over My Little Pony leaks. So I still have a lot of things I want to talk about. And I would also like to continue on to Generation 5. Like, my channel started with the Brony fandom, and I will continue to keep making videos in the Brony fandom as long as I enjoy the video community that I am in. So I don't plan on really stopping anytime soon.
That's kind of the same with me. And I think that's great that, you know, we're all going to be continuing to make content and stuff. But if anyone's trying to start as a Brony YouTuber, you know, right here, let's say tonight, what would you recommend that they do to get their channel up and running?
Probably, man, I'm not even, more of just look to other people for inspiration. Don't copy them. Do not copy them, but just look to them for inspiration. Like, I'm not saying seek them out and ask them for their guidance, but more of just see what they're doing and see how you can, like, use that in your videos. I don't mean copying them. I mean, like, how could I use this type of style of he's doing in my videos? Like, a lot of my videos are inspired by old video makers from the RuneScape community back in 2007. They're no longer on YouTube anymore, but I still use a lot of inspiration from them in my videos even to this day.
Well, that's, you know, that's some really, really good advice. I think that, you know, more people should see what other people are working on and see how they do it and stuff. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm kind of running out of questions here.
You good?
So you have a little off topic. You have a pony room.
Sort of. I mean, it's slowly making a comeback because I moved out back in the beginning of June, and I've finally been buying a whole bunch of shelves so I can actually put the pony room back up. But now the pony room is more of just like mixed all around my house.
Well, I guess that works pretty well.
Like I have a whole bunch of like pony posters up and also a few items nothing but pony related, but that's perfectly fine.
So, we're kind of nearing kind of time limit here. Do you have any final like thoughts or anything?
I would just have to say the fandom doesn't end with the show, it ends with us. So continue to keep the spirit of the Brony fandom alive, and that's all I can say.
So keep the magic of friendship in our hearts.
Yep.
I
couldn't have said it better.
Well, then we will do just that. As always, guys, this is Dratta Arcana at Dratta Talks. And as always, if you're looking to contact me, you can contact me at Dratta Arcana Gaming on Facebook or dratta.arcana@gmail.com. And I now have a community Discord. Check it out. Also, join Tootsie's Discord. Link should be on his channel as well, which will be in the description. And as always, this is Dratta Arcana with special guest
Tootsie4Ever. Thank you.
And we'll see you guys on the next video.